Alrighty. Vlog 16, I think it's 16, half marathon training, and I am trying to find a parking place at this park that I picked. Today is a long run, so it's supposed to be 8 miles. I'm surprised that they decided to go down a mile on the long run this week, but I'm guessing that they did that to call this a rest week, or like a week that had a little bit lower volume. However, it has the same amount of total miles for the week. They just decreased the long run by 1 mile and then upped the run after the long run by 1 mile. So I don't know how that counts as like a recoup week, but whatever. We're following the plan. I'm not injured, so we're gonna stick with the plan. Today I am gonna be trying really hard to go a lot slower than I've been going. I've been doing so bad at going slow, which leads me to why the hell did I choose to wear the New Balance RC Elites again today, other than the fact that they feel amazing and every other shoe just feels like a disappointment in comparison now. So I've decided to set myself a little bit of a like risk reward type penalty system. I'm gonna try to wrap this up quickly because I have to use the restroom and get going on my run because I've been dawdling today and I'm already taking longer than I'm supposed to. But I'm going to head out from my car, and in the first mile, if I cannot pace myself in these shoes and keep my Garmin from beeping at me telling me I'm going too fast, because I've set it to 11, I think I'm gonna set it to 11:45 a mile. I was gonna set it to 11:30, but I think I'm gonna set it to 11:45 and push going a little bit slower even than that. Really try to get a slower day in today. If I can get around 12:30 minute a mile on average, then that would be on the slower, more like recovery, like nice long run, easy nose breathing, not getting worn out, my legs not dying pace. So that's the plan. I'm gonna do that for the first mile, and if it's beeping at me every like minute or whatever telling me I'm going too fast, I'm going to force myself to run back to my car and switch into my alternative shoes. I have 2 alternative shoes in the car, mostly because I forgot these in the car. I do have the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V2s in the car. However, I don't think that would solve my issue of if I'm going too fast, because these are also kind of a fast shoe. They just don't have the carbon fiber plate and they don't have quite as much stack height as the RC Elites. So I have my Asics Nova Blast, which are a bit on the heavier side, in the back of the car. I can't reach them right now, but I will force myself to switch into those if I cannot pace myself. As far as the RC Elites, the New Balance RC Elites are concerned, I gave in and I totally went and bought a second pair. I know they're expensive. I went and sold off some old exercise gear that I wasn't really wearing anymore, or didn't quite fit me right anymore because I've lost weight. Because since the start of the pandemic, I've lost about 45 pounds and a lot of my clothes don't fit anymore. So with that, I went and sold off some of those. I sold off a couple of pairs of shoes that were pretty lightly used, but that just weren't, I wasn't wild about them. I found myself like avoiding wearing them for running because I just wasn't thrilled with them. Unfortunately, my Diadora Volos fell into that category, but they didn't want my Diadora Volos. They didn't recognize them as a good brand, and they're, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, you know, these are kind of expensive shoes, right? Like, I was like, whatever, okay. So I sold those, but I had a couple other pairs that I sold off along with some clothes and all that jazz, and I got a good chunk of money, and I used that towards buying another pair of the RC Elites, as well as a pair of the Saucony Endorphin Pro, the originals, which they're on clearance, and it was like the last pair the running store had, so they were happy to get rid of them. But I finally just decided that I really, really like these shoes, and I feel like I've been spending a lot of money on a bunch of different types of shoes and a bunch of different shoes just from different brands and stuff, trying to hone in on like what is the perfect shoe for me and which one feels the best to me and which one's comfortable for long distances and comfortable for shorter distances, so that I can kind of multitask with it instead of having to have an individual shoe for every little tiny niche, like, oh, is it rainy today, or is it snowy today, or am I going fast, am I going slow, am I doing this, am I doing 5K or am I doing 10 miles? Like, I don't really want to have like 20 pairs of shoes for that. And I think I'm realizing that for me, I really, really like the like Saucony Endorphin Speed 2, the Saucony Endorphin Pro. I know I said in a vlog the other day I didn't like the Endorphin Pro 2 because I got to try it. My main complaint about it was that the heel counter seemed non-existent in that shoe, in the demo shoe I tried. I went into the store and looked at the shoes. That must have just been the demos, that they were so broken down and been used so many times, because there is in fact a heel counter and it actually has some structure to it in the new ones. It's just that the demo was so beat to hell that I thought it was just like that. But anyway, I went back on, tried them again, decided to just go ahead and get them, and now I've got, I'm gonna count the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2 as a race shoe as well. Now I have 4 plausible road racing shoes. I'm gonna save the light blue New Balance RC Elites 2 that I just got for race day. I'm gonna put a couple miles in it just to kind of break it in, and then I'm gonna leave it the hell alone until my half marathon, and then save it for other races. And I'm going to I'm gonna allow myself to train in the purple RC Elites pretty much as I choose to do so. So right now I think I've pretty much set myself up with, I've got the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2s and the Saucony Endorphin Pro as my like Saucony training partners, and then I've got my RC Elite V2s from New Balance as my race/training shoes, and then also a training partner for those guys with the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V2s that I have. And then I have the ASICS Nova Blast for long runs if I just need something that's like kind of more of a middle ground in the squish, because I would say that the New Balances are extremely squishy, very super soft underfoot, really, really nice. Not so supportive, however. And then I'll have a middle ground shoe, which is my ASICS Nova Blast, which are slightly firmer, but still pretty squishy and nice and soft and comfortable for long runs. And then I've got my Sauconys, which are less squishy in my opinion. They feel firmer underfoot. So I think that pretty much sets me up with my road shoes. I honestly just don't even feel the need to like explore other shoes anymore at this point, because I think I've kind of like finally honed in on like which ones are great to me and that I will actually enjoy having in my rotation, instead of just looking at them in the closet and being like, well, I guess I'll wear these ones today. I don't really feel like wearing these ones today, but they're the ones I haven't worn in a while, and I don't want to stack up too many miles on my other shoes too quick, so I may as well just force myself to run in this type of shoe that is not my favorite today. And I think I've kind of figured out what my rotation will be in the future unless things change, at least for my road riding shoes. And I think I'm pretty set up on my trail shoes as well at this point. I've got a good little, I think I've got 5 different trail shoe options, and I've got like 8 different road shoes. No, wait a minute. 2 RC early. This is going on way too long. I'm taking forever. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm taking way too long. I also have to use the restroom and I have to get going. I'm stalling. We gotta go get the long run done. I will talk to you after the run. I will try to keep it short after the run because I took so friggin' long in the beginning. Okay, I will talk to you later. Alrighty. Well, I finished my run and I actually decided to go ahead and re-record the end video because I was listening to it and I went on too long. Anyway, my run was good. I ended up doing the 8 miles at an average pace of 11 minutes and 54 seconds a mile. So I did manage to keep my pacing under control, mainly just by incorporating walk breaks today, which hopefully will leave my legs a little less beat up than last week's long run too. So hopefully that'll be an advantage. It was kind of a fun run for a lot of things. There were so many flies out today, just like waves and waves, and it was breezy too. So I'm touching my face and I can't tell if this is just like salt crystallization from like sweat or what, but I feel like dusty like on my face. I'm not sure if it's dirt or salt from the sweat evaporating, probably sweat, but and there were so many flies. There were just these clouds of flies the entire run, these little tiny flies. And on the way back, about 2 miles to the end of the run, one flew into my eye and got stuck there. And I had to like stop for a minute and like take out my water bottle and use the last of my water bottle. I didn't have much left to try to rinse out my eye. And I eventually got him out without losing my contact somehow, because that's the eye that I have my contact lens in too, which I was like, oh no. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a really miserable last 2 miles, but I did manage to get the fly out of my eye. But anyway, the shoes did really good. I'm not gonna take forever explaining everything that happened on the run and all that jazz, but the shoes did well. I had a little bit of that toe box issue that I tend to have where it kind of like cramps up and hurts. And one thing I do really like about the RC Elites, and part of the reason why I was so keen to get a second pair, is that I found that with the RC Elites, because the upper is stretchy enough, I can actually curl my toes with each step, like, and kind of like do that when my toe box starts cramping, and that alleviates that pain. And it actually, I've done that in the past to kind of alleviate that pain in other shoes, but it's always very temporary. Like literally the pain will be back within a minute or two after doing that like 10 times. Well, with these guys, I did that and the pain actually went away for like a solid mile. So at a time, and then I just had to do it again, and it was great because that's really unpleasant when that happens to my foot. I would probably rank it on like a 5 or 6 on the pain scale, and it's always on my left foot. It doesn't really happen on my other foot. I wish I knew what it was so I could find some sort of exercises or stretches or something to do that would make it not happen anymore. But anyway, that seemed to be resolvable in these shoes, and it's not usually in other shoes. So that's why I'm very excited to have these for my races and long runs, because I can actually fix that problem without stopping, taking off my shoe, popping all my toes, which seems to help, and then like massaging my foot for a minute and like stretching it with my hands before putting my shoes back on, just to have it start hurting again a mile later. So that was really good. I had a great time. No blisters, nothing like that. No hot spots. And it was a fairly warm day. I'm actually sweaty, you might be able to see. That's partially because I'm also sitting in the car, which is acting like a freaking greenhouse. But I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been taking forever. I did not do my nutrition properly. I think I only did like 1 energy gel the entire 8 miles, and that was dumb. I probably should have done more than that. So I'm gonna get inside and I'm gonna eat. All right, thank you for listening to my rambling on, and you guys have a great day.